All About the Birds provides you with weekly analysis, game recaps, informative interviews, and it's all birds all the time.
What's going on, everybody? We are here on a Friday night. Discuss a little Eagles. We have Eagles New England joint practice we're going to talk about. A couple days of that. We have the preseason game coming up tomorrow night, which then we'll be back at the end of the weekend here to kind of recap that, what we saw as we get closer and closer to the season. So I'm excited for that. Matt, how are we doing tonight on this wonderful Friday night?
We're good, baby. We're so close to the regular season.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming fast, and it's like finally, all these different preseason games on. I kind of like that. It's like staggered. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You put it on at night, and you got a game here, even if it's a replay. I still just throw it on there. But I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
The answers are starting to become clearer. Right.
Yeah, especially with today's news, we'll get into that. Eagles made a couple roster moves, so put a little bit clearer picture of a couple things that you and I have been talking about and discussing. Back and forth in our chats, kind of, seeing who's going to be where, what's going to happen, what's going on. So we'll get into that. But to start off, we got to talk about the joint practice on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Eagles and the Patriots lined up against each other. Did a whole bunch of different drills, and I don't look too much into it. There's no, to me, wins and loss, like stop with that. But the way that I look at it is, you see some of the videos, and basically we go off of the videos that we see. We weren't there. So we go kind of what we're hearing from the reporters, taking a little bit, that a grain of salt. We're taking a little bit from the videos we're seeing. So you take little by little. And to me, I think 7-on-7 in joint practice is kind of lame. It should just, 11-on-11 is, how I like it. But again, every team's going to do it differently, but I thought you saw a lot of the Eagles under center, the zone runs, the holes the offensive line was opening. I think that was one of the main huge positives. And, Jalen throwing over the middle. You saw a lot of throwing over the it's a work in progress with the offense. We know that. We know it's going to be because it's a new scheme. It's a new system, but I was very intrigued some of the stuff that I was seeing in the videos out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think that's a good point. It's the same thing as the preseason. You're not looking at it necessarily who wins and who loses. You're looking at individual performances and how they match up and how they go against live bullets, right? Is the we use. But, one of the things I wanted to see specifically yesterday on the Thursday practice was who's going to step up that may have had a rough day on Wednesday. Right, the big one that I was watching was Reek Woolen. Woolen, yeah, I didn't. It didn't sound like they were picking on him, but it sounded like on Wednesday he gave up. He had some trouble with the shallow crossers and things like that. The standard Patriots offense, but which is harder for a taller corner, right? Ringo's a different story because he's just stiff-hipped anyway, but he's taller too, so he has a tougher time with twitchy receivers. So it was, people were like, he was kind of a stock down guy on Wednesday, and on Thursday, by all accounts, by both
Wednesday, right?
Was it Tuesday?
Or no, was it
Thursday?
No, you're right. It was Wednesday, Thursday. I got them mixed up. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday. You're right. Go ahead.
And so it was yesterday that he was the player of the day for both teams. He had a pick six. He locked down, what's his name? It was AJ and
Romeo Dobbs.
Locked them down. Had a couple PDs. Had some picks. He stripped the ball out of AJ's hand, which was then picked by Jalix Hunt, which was an incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible.
If you guys haven't seen the slow-mo video that the Eagles posted, check it out. It was awesome. And that it was interesting to watch the Patriots beat writers and how they saw certain things and how we saw certain things. Right? There was definitely some, I don't want to say bias, but there was definitely, red colored glasses versus green colored glasses when looking at certain plays and how they developed. So definitely interesting, but I think it was cool to see him bounce back. It was cool to see Hurts bounce back a little bit yesterday. Um, trying new things. Like, it's okay if he throws interceptions at training camp, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's not the end of the world. We know he has a large enough body of work that like we don't have to worry about turnovers with Jalen for the most part. Like, he's gonna be smart with the football, so I think people can pump the brakes on panic there. But yeah, like you said, I think overall it was good to see these guys go up against live reps, especially on the offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah, and another guy like you had just mentioned, Jalen Hunt. There's a lot of talk, um, just the way that he looks, and just like he's getting better and better, and it's just insane that they got him in the third round. And it was a pick. A lot of people are like, was that a little reach? Was that an early pick? It was,
I think we all did.
my thing was like, and I'll be honest, like when they drafted him, I was like, I like the way it looks. It's third round. Like, I just don't want another Davion Taylor. Like, you get those thoughts when you have stuff like that happen, because we've been through it in the prior years of the Davion Taylors, the JJ Arcega-Whitesides. You have, the Jalen Ragers, all these picks that you think is going to be something that turns out, unfortunately, or not. But he's really showing his promise. And unfortunately, Jonathan Grenard, more and more that it looks like he may start the season. He may start on PUP, but maybe not. But he may miss the first couple games of the year. Getting healthy from that pec injury.
And I've reached out to a couple of people about that, and most people say that the team and the player are optimistic for week 1.
Okay.
But I think he's still going to be, even if he does play week 1, I think he's going to be behind the 8 ball on learning the offense, or learning the defense. I know he's been in similar systems, but it's not that easy to pick up, and it's not like 1-to-1, right? And Vic doesn't really like that, right? Like, Vic wants to feel comfortable with you in those positions and know
he wants to see you out there in his defense.
I mean, look what Coop was ready week 1, but like Vic gave him 6 weeks to ramp up, right? Or 5 weeks, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they slow roll him. I would kind of go in between. My expectation right now is in between week 1 and, I don't know, week 4.
Yeah.
Right, somewhere in there. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts on PUP, because that gives you till week 4, right? I think it's only 4 weeks instead of 6.
I think it is 4 weeks. I'm trying to remember. I thought it was 6, but then I was thinking about it, I was like, is it the 4? Could you see him? Let me
And I keep thinking, there was the post about Hassan Reddick today, and if this is going to be, let's say he does start on PUP and it takes the first 4 weeks of the season, do we see a guy like BG come out? Maybe sign on.
But I know he wanted to come a lot early. Like,
maybe
he didn't want to wait.
Maybe he signs on the practice squad and gets elevated as needed.
So so they must miss the first 4 games of the season if they're placed on the PUP list.
Used to be 6.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. And like, again, that's all going to be that roster tango, and like, do they use that to sneak UR on the 53 and then IR him? Like, there are ways that they can do that. But Jalen Hunt, I mean, the beat writers in New England came out and said, like, he's a problem. Like, he's that dude. He's giving grown-ass men issues, and that's what you get when you're going against Mailata and Lane Johnson every day. Like, that's why Tyler Steen and Drew Kendall and these guys look so much better, because they're going against Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter every day. Iron sharpens iron, right? Like the old Chip Kelly motto.
You're really using a Chip Kelly motto.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, he was an asshole, but he said some things that were not BS,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really optimistic about him. I'm optimistic about Reek Woolen and what he can do. Like, if those two succeed, if those two take the jump that we think they're going to take, then this defense is going to be pretty pretty brutal to go up against.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, and I think the biggest thing too is these guys, most of these guys have been playing in this defense since Vic's been here. So the
Or a
familiarity
forerunner.
there
Yeah.
and the closeness some of these guys have, it's just,
Yeah.
they know where each other's going to be. Like that stuff, all that stuff matters. So, it's going to be very fun to watch. And I just think the way that, and I just think too, is like this defense, they can throw so many different things at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it isn't just one clear cut. They can only do this. They could do so many different things and they can match up in so many different ways that it just makes them so difficult to try to figure out, essentially.
Well, and like, to that point, we're talking about the edge rusher. We're talking about the players that have familiarity, and Vic can do certain things now that he couldn't do in his first year. Like, perfect example of that is we now, for the first time in I don't know how long, are in this era of like an embarrassment of riches at the linebacker position.
Yeah.
Right? Like we have
and that's not
Bond
even talking about Chance Campbell, because we haven't seen him. He's been injured.
Right. But like we have Bond, we have Campbell, we have Trotter, we have Mondin, we have Lawson, we have George, we have Campbell. Like we have bodies that we can competently throw out there, at least on special teams. And so like this is where you start to think about like the mad scientist that is Vic Fangio. And like you could argue that Trotter has made a case that he belongs on the field. So like, what if you're putting Trotter and Campbell in there at inside linebacker and bringing Bond down as an edge rusher to be that fifth edge
See
rusher?
that? Yeah, that's.
And then you know how he likes to do his sim blitzes. You bring him down on the edge like he's going to be an edge rusher. Bond drops and Trotter blitzes. Like there's some pretty cool stuff that they could do in a three linebacker look. Like they were doing when they had injuries at the edges, where they started doing that 5-man front where they would like line up in a 4-2 and then drop it down to like a 5-1. I wouldn't be shocked if they do some stuff like that, because Trotter has made the case to start. Like, it's very strange, man. There are some people that are saying that you could make the argument that he's been the best player on defense in training camp. I mean, aside from like Jalen Carter, right? Like,
and Vic is the type of guy, like he understands pedigree, he understands where you've been drafted, stuff like that. He gets that, but
he also doesn't give a shit.
If he knows the better player is going to be the one out there, he doesn't care who it is. Like they signed Bryce Huff to a huge deal, and from day one, he didn't want to even play him. And to me, that's really shows you he wants to put the best player out there. And that's what it's about. It's about to make his team the best that it can be by getting the best players on the field. The Eagles are playing the
perfect example of that. And sorry to interrupt, but like perfect example of that is what they're doing with Coop. Right? Like he was drafted when the Eagles initially talked about the draft pick, it was that he was going to play outside at some point in his life, right? Like that was the goal. They drafted him as a corner, and then he just succeeded so much in the nickel, and now they're like, he is so good that I'm not taking him off the field. Let's see what he can do at safety. Like it's just he wants his
keep your best players on the field,
and if that's Trot and Campbell in the middle, and then Bond coming off the edge, and then mixing up sim blitzes and pressures, then cool, I'm in.
So looking at this preseason game, like who are 3 players that you're interested to watch, whether or not it's them making a case for a roster spot or making a case for a practice squad spot, or so be it. Who are 3 players? It could be offense, defense, even special teams, whoever you want to watch, but who are 3 guys you're keeping your eye on tomorrow night?
I want to see I want to continue to watch Lampkin. Like he's been super intriguing to me. He's one of those, is he for real? Like it seems to me that he's been so like super consistent during camp. Players around him on offensive defense have raved about his consistency. his ability to anchor despite his size, playing with leverage. Jason Kelsey used to say that Puna Ford was like one of the worst people to go up against because he was so much shorter and he would just get leverage up against him. So I'm really interested in seeing Lampkin, seeing if he can continue that in the game. I forget who it was. I think it was Mailata called him a bowling ball of knives this week. So like, I'm definitely interested to see that and like the young offensive lineman in general. I'm really interested to see if Ringo and Mac McWilliams can continue to get better. Like Ringo got some shout out from Vic this week saying that he was on the rise. He had the pick. He had a penalty, but it was kind of ticky tack. So I'd like to see him build on that because I got a feeling they're going to keep him on the 53 anyway. So I'd like to see him show some improvement.
Sure, yeah.
And then finally, I want to see Ty Robinson continue to build on his performance from last week, and see if he can continue to make a push. Like Vic said, he was on life support until last week and then came alive. So he was apparently really good in joint practices too. Played some snaps with the ones, mainly because there were injuries. But I'd like to see him build on last week's performance and get some play.
So a couple guys I'm looking at. One is I want to see Eli Stowers. I'm gonna have my eyes on him. Hopefully does a little bit better than what we've seen. But of course, I want to see him, see what he can do. Another guy I want to see is David Blay, the defensive tackle they got from Miami. I just want to see if he flashes again. Like, see kind of what you have there in potential practice squad spot, having him, a development type of thing.
Yeah.
The last guy I'm looking at watching it's probably going to be Jake Elliott. And it's because he's been struggling. He was doing 2 for 5. I know. I didn't hear anything about last practice.
No.
So
didn't
that's going to be very interesting because he didn't get any field goal opportunities last week.
Yeah.
And if he struggles in the preseason game, there may be time where you need to potentially get somebody on the roster. And I think, honestly, my opinion would be is maybe we get somebody that we can put on the practice squad to have there.
Yeah.
I know Jake Moody was just cut. There's been a couple of veteran kickers who've been cut. But to me, with the way he's been struggling, if you have somebody already there and practicing and kicking, I think that's something that I've really thought about, especially after seeing him struggling on Wednesday's practice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them to have somebody.
The last 2 kickers that we've had have been pulled off of practice squads.
Yeah.
Right. So Jake Elliott and Dicker the kicker.
Yep.
So I'd also keep an eye on that. Like, take a look at who's being put on practice squads. Take a look at who has 2 kickers. That kind of stuff. Dude, there's so many players. It was hard for me to pick, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I want to watch Gush. I want to watch Pooley. I want to see who takes over that safety 4 spot. Is Wisniewski going to play? Who's finally,
the new corner they got, Bolden.
I want to see Bolden get an opportunity at a kick returner. I made a post about this on X. It didn't get much traction because I think people were like, "Who the hell is Isaiah Bolden?" But if you didn't follow, we signed Isaiah Bolden from Jackson State. He's 6'2", really, really fast. He was a pretty well-regarded kick returner in college. Had some opportunities at kick returner, punt returner, gunner with the Patriots over the last couple of years. I think he was drafted or signed out of the draft by the Patriots in 23, I want to say.
Yeah, he was a 7th round pick in 2023 for the Patriots, played in 23 and 24, was on the offseason roster of the 49ers last year. Then he signed with the Louisville Kings, and he played with them and then signed with the Eagles.
I'd like to see him get play there because right now
he's played 14 games, so it's not like he's never played. He played 14 games in 24.
Right. Yeah. So he's intriguing to me. I'd at least get him on the practice squad and see what you can do because, uh, like where I struggle with the 53 is keeping a guy like Covey or Ringo strictly because they're good at one thing on special teams.
Yeah.
If you can get a guy like him, like Bolden, who has experience, who's a bottom of the roster guy that can play gunner and return kicks, like cool. Let's like sign me up. Like that's where you should be looking for versatility, unless you have a guy who's just elite at something he does. And
Yeah.
you could argue that Ringo is an elite gunner. Um, Not so much Covey on the punt return, but I don't know. We have this conversation on every pod. It's a legitimate worry for me. Um, Anthony DeBona put out a really good article. He actually sent it to me and was like, "Dude, I know you've been pounding this drum too, but uh, like Shipley's like 24th in the league in kick returns. We were like 30th in average starting field position on kick returns. We were last in the league on fair catches, the amount of fair catches that we had. I don't I know it seems silly to like freak out about that, and that generally when you're freaking out about the returners, it means you have a pretty good roster in front of you. But
Yeah.
like I'm concerned about it. I was last year, and right now they have Tank and Shipley as their starting kick returners, and neither one of them instill a ton of confidence. Tank fumbled like six kickoffs
Yeah, that
last
was not a
year.
good
He could
welcome.
not figure out the Rams knuckleball.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm another team, I'm knuckleballing at our kick returners because none of them know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
I'm really, I know it seems stupid, but I'm really like bookmark it. I have concerns about our returning positions.
no, it's something that you have to really,
And who's
think
gonna
about
play
because
gunner? If
yeah.
Ringo doesn't make it, if Ringo doesn't make the squad, who's playing gunner? I mean, seriously, like, is it Mac McWilliams? Is it 33-year-old Jonathan Jones? Is it Michael Carter the second? Like, I'm looking at my 53 and who I would keep, and I don't see it. Is it JT Gray? Is it JT Gray and Ringo? Do they make it off of special teams merit alone? I'm struggling.
They've got some questions for sure at the bottom. But we had a question answered today when the Eagles made some roster moves here. They waived injured Johnny Wilson. So if he does get unclaimed, I believe he reverts to IR. And they placed Tariq Castro Fields on injured reserve. And then they signed Brandon Hayes again.
For like
and he's going to be like Julian Vandevelde.
He's catching up quick.
So Brandon Hayes they signed, and they signed
a guy that hasn't gotten an opportunity.
Listen, they're going to sign him this many times. I hope he makes the practice squad.
Yeah.
Back and forth. And then they signed Zeke Carroll, who was, what'd you say?
Let him return kicks in the preseason.
Yeah, let him say something. Like, let us see it at least. And they signed center Zeke Carroll, who was undrafted free agent with the Minnesota Vikings last year, who got hurt and was on IR last year and then was waived in March. And he did play under Coop. So there's some familiarity there. And he is NC State and Notre Dame. He played. That's the thing with these college things. You got to say multiple colleges because it's all these guys do is transfer, and some of them get cut, transfer back. But
Taquan Wright going back to college, he is the first active player in the NFL to go back to college into the transfer portal.
Well, he may not be the last. So
he's definitely not going to be the last.
I'm hoping that this kind of ends it in terms of this 5 for 5. So when the guys play their 5 years or they declare, if you declare for the draft, see, that's the thing is these guys just went to the draft. They never declared for the draft because they weren't underclassmen, essentially. So if you declare for the draft, I believe you denounce your eligibility.
Yeah.
But again, they can always do a lawsuit because that's what it seems like everyone. But I guess I think they just put something that each player, I guess, has to have their own lawsuit or whatever and stuff like that. So
it can't be like a RICO case where everybody involved gets an extra year of eligibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick Chubb retired.
Yeah, Nick Chubb did retire.
Oh, good for him, dude. Hell of a career. Shitty way to end it, but good for him.
No, it was good for him. Unfortunately, the injury, and then
the injury was gross, dude.
Yeah, that was awful. When you saw that, you knew it was.
That was up there with Willis McGahee.
But again, that's the thing. Some of these, these talented runners and running backs, everything, it doesn't last. Like Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb. It's unfortunate, and sometimes you have guys that last a little bit longer. But
weren't they both Georgia boys?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they were both Georgia guys.
Who's the other dude? He was signed. Lattimore? Was it Lattimore?
Marcus Lattimore for South Carolina.
Yeah. Was it not Marcus Lattimore? Was it?
Marcus Lattimore was a running back that got hurt at South Carolina.
He got hurt at South Carolina, and he
was drafted by the Niners. Yes.
Yeah. That was him?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Another one that, unfortunate, an injury, because he was good.
So good, dude.
But it happens to the best of them, and that's the tough part when you play that position. But listen, we're going to be back on Sunday night to discuss the Eagles and Patriots, what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, maybe some of the guys that we had said, hey, who we want to watch and see how they do. But can't wait. I love preseason, love football. So it gets closer and closer to high school football, college football, NFL, pros. So we're into that season. The weather is starting to get a little bit cooler in terms of the mornings are a little bit cooler. So keep that trend going because I cannot wait.
Can't wait for the season, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoodie and a cold beer.
Us big fellas like the hoodie. So
I'm sweating right now. So,
but yeah, we'll be back Sunday night. We're going to talk about the game. We'll go over it, recap it. So that should be fun. But with that, as we always end it, appreciate everyone that is joining. We appreciate the subscribers. We got about 6 new subscribers since last week. So if you want all the Eagles content, everything, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're following all the socials, and we appreciate it. But with that, as we always end it, with a very happy and joyful Go Birds.
Hey guys, it's J-Bo. Some people call me J-Bo Philly. I'm here with Big Dom, and check out All About the Birds. Go Birds.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Ian. Make sure you're following All About the Birds. I absolutely love their content.
Just wanted to give the guys over at All About the Birds a huge shout out.
Hey, for all the Eagle content you need, go follow All About the Birds. They do a damn thing. Check them out.
Hey, Eagles fans, I may be in Tampa, but I know where to find the best Eagles content out there. Check out my friends at All About the Birds.
Philadelphia, what's up? This your boy Freddie Mitchell, a.k.a. Fred X. It's all about the birds.
All birds all the time. All birds all the